The stars had always been quiet in the neutral zone near the Orion Arm. Ships from many species passed through without trouble. Trade happened. Words were exchanged. No one fought. That peace ended on a cold morning when the Krell Dominion decided to strike. The Krell were tall insects with hard shells and sharp minds. Their ships looked like black beetles floating in space. They hated the Vara coalition. The Vara were soft-furred mammals who built cities on green worlds and liked to talk about peace. For years the two sides argued over one small planet called Aara 9. It had rich soil and clean water. Both wanted it. Neither would give up. That morning the Krell sent 30 warships. They came without warning. Their weapons lit up the sky. Beams of green fire rained down on the Vara colony. Cities burned. Fields turned to ash. Millions died in the first hour. The survivors sent out cries for help across every channel they could reach. Most of those cries went unanswered. Far away, on the huge station called the Galactic Concord, leaders from 32 species met in a round hall. The hall had high windows that showed swirling nebulae. Each leader sat at a long table. They wore different colors and shapes. Some had scales, some had feathers, some floated in water tanks. The Concord was supposed to keep peace. It had rules. One big rule said, no one could fight directly in another species' war. Help could come only as food or medicine. No guns, no ships with weapons. The Vara ambassador stood up. Her name was Lyra Voss. Her fur was gray from worry. She spoke in a low voice. My people are dying. The Krell broke every treaty. Please, send help. Send anything. The room stayed quiet. The Krell ambassador clicked his mandibles. He wore red robes. The colony was on our land. We took what is ours. The Concord has no right to interfere. Other ambassadors looked at each other. The Zorath delegate, a tall creature with glowing eyes, said, if we act, the Krell will attack us next. The Myron, small and winged, added, war will spread. Better to watch and talk later. They talked for hours. No one voted to help. No one wanted to risk their own worlds. The meeting ended with a promise to monitor the situation. That was all. On Earth, things were different. Captain John Hayes sat in the command chair of the cruiser Endurance. The ship was not the biggest in the human fleet. It was old, but strong. Its hull was gray steel patched in many places. John was 42 years old. He had short brown hair and calm blue eyes. He liked quiet mornings with coffee and reports. Today was not quiet. The communications officer, Lieutenant Emma Larson, turned in her seat. Captain, we picked up distress signals from Aara 9, Vara colony. Heavy casualties. Krell attack confirmed. John leaned forward. Show me the feed. The main screen lit up. Images came through broken and shaky. Burning buildings, smoke rising like black pillars, small Vara children running from flames. A mother held her baby and screamed at the sky. The pictures cut off. John felt something tight in his chest. He had seen war before. Not alien war, human war. He remembered stories from his grandfather about old Earth battles. He remembered the rule his mother taught him. When someone hurts the weak and no one stops it, the hurt grows. He pressed a button on his chair. Connect me to Admiral Klein. The screen changed. Admiral Robert Klein appeared. He was older, with white hair and a straight back. He sat in his office on Luna Base. John, I see you have the feed. Yes, sir. The Concord is doing nothing. Again. Robert nodded slowly. We know. The politicians back home say stay out. Humans are still new to the galaxy. We trade, we explore, we don't fight other people's wars. John looked at the frozen image of the burning city. Sir, if we do nothing, those people die. All of them. And next time it could be one of our colonies, or one of our friends. Robert was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "What do you need?" John took a breath. Permission to jump to the Aara system, not to fight, to help. Food, medicine, evacuation if needed. And if the Krell shoot at us, we defend ourselves. Robert rubbed his chin. You know what this means. The galaxy will notice. They think humans are soft, traitors, not warriors. John smiled a little. Let them think that, until we prove different. Robert looked straight at the screen. You have my approval, Captain, but be careful. One wrong move and we start a bigger war. Thank you, sir. The screen went dark. John turned to his crew. They were watching him. Some looked ready. Set course for Aara 9, he said. Maximum speed. Prepare jump drive. Lieutenant Emma Larson typed fast. Course locked. Jump in 30 minutes. Dr. Sophia Grant walked onto the bridge. She was the civilian advisor. Tall, with dark hair and a simple bun. She carried a tablet. I heard. You're really doing this. John nodded. Someone has to. Sophia looked at the screen. The image of the burning world was still there. The Vara will remember this. So will everyone else. John stood up. Open a channel. All frequencies. Galactic wide. Emma nodded. Channel open, sir. John cleared his throat. His voice was calm and clear. No anger. No threat. Just fact. This is Captain John Hayes of the United Nations ship Endurance. Humanity has seen your war. We have seen the dead on Aara 9. We are coming to help the survivors. We are coming to stop the killing. All ships in the Aara system. Cease fire now. Allow safe passage for aid. If you attack us, or the civilians, we will respond. This is not a request. This is a warning. He paused. Humans do not start fights, but when we step in, we finish them. He nodded to Emma. The channel closed. For a moment, the bridge was silent. Then alarms sounded softly. The jump drive hummed. Stars stretched into lines on the view screen. 30 light-years away, in alien command centers, operators froze. Translators repeated the words. Humans are intervening. In the Krell flagship, the Overlord stared at the screen. His mandibles clicked fast. Humans, those hairless apes, they dare? In the Vara shelters, survivors heard the message. Some cried. Some smiled for the first time in days. On the Concord station, ambassadors stopped talking. They looked at each other. One said, "Did he just threaten the galaxy?" "He just promised to act." Across relay stations and trade hubs, the word spread. Ships changed course. Fleets went to yellow alert. Sensors turned toward the small blue cruiser racing through hyperspace. The galaxy had not seen anything like this in 1,000 years. A young species, few ships, no empire. But they were coming, and they were not afraid. The jump completed with a soft flash. The Endurance dropped back into normal space. Ahead lay the Aara system. Smoke still rose from the planet. Krell ships waited in formation. Vara escape pods drifted like lost seeds. John sat back in his chair. Shields up, he said. Weapons hot, but not locked. Let's see who wants to talk first. The stars watched, and the galaxy held its breath. The Endurance dropped out of hyperspace with a gentle shudder. Stars snapped back into sharp points. Ahead, the Aara system looked like a graveyard. Twisted metal floated everywhere. Chunks of Vara ships drifted slowly. Smoke still rose from the planet below in thin gray lines. The Krell fleet waited in a tight half-circle. 30 black beetle ships hung in space, weapons glowing faintly green. Captain John Hayes studied the tactical display. Red dots for enemies, blue for the few Vara escape pods still alive. No friendlies except his own ship. Shields at full, he said quietly. Weapons ready but do not lock. Comms open on all channels. Lieutenant Emma Larson nodded. Her fingers moved fast on the panel. Channel open, Captain. Broadcasting wide. Commander William Carter stood at the weapons station. He was broad-shouldered, with short black hair. He kept his eyes on the scopes. Krell ships are charging main batteries. They look ready to fire. John did not move. Let them see us first. The main view screen zoomed in on the largest Krell ship. It was long and spiked, like a giant thorn. A voice came through, cold and clicking. Translators made it sound sharp. This is Overlord Kazath of the Dominion, human ship. You are in restricted space. Leave now or be destroyed. Your kind has no place here. John leaned forward. His voice stayed calm, like he was talking to a neighbor. This is Captain John Hayes, of the United Nations ship Endurance. We received distress calls from the Vara people on Aara 9. We are here to provide aid, food, medicine, evacuation for the wounded. We ask both sides to stand down. Let the civilians live. A pause, then laughter came through. It sounded like dry sticks breaking. Soft humans, the Overlord said. You think words stop war? The Vara colony is ours now. Their blood waters our claim. Go back to your small blue world. Play with your toys. John looked at Sophia Grant. She stood near the back of the bridge. Her face was serious. She gave a small nod. John spoke again. Overlord Kazath, we do not want your war. But we will not watch innocents die. Power down your weapons. Allow our shuttles to land. Or we will make sure no more shells fall on that planet. More clicking laughter. Then the Overlord's voice turned hard. You threaten us? With one ship? We see your hull. Thin, weak. No match for chitin and plasma. Fire a warning shot, humans. See what happens. William Carter whispered, Captain, their lead ship is targeting us. Energy spike. John took a slow breath. Show them we mean business, but no killing yet. Kinetic rods. Target their forward battery array. Low power. Disable only. William's hands moved. Rods loaded. Firing solution set. Relativistic speed. Impact in 8 seconds. John pressed the comm button one more time. This is your last chance. Stand down. Silence. Then the Krell opened fire. Green beams lashed out. They hit the Endurance's shields. The ship shook. Lights flickered for a second. Alarms beeped. Shields holding at 82%, Emma reported. John nodded. Return fire. A soft thump came from deep in the ship. No flash, no explosion sound. Just a streak of silver that moved so fast it looked like a line drawn by a god. The tungsten rod hit the Krell battlecruiser's forward section. No big fireball, no radiation, just a clean hole punched through armor 3 meters thick. The battery array sparked once, then went dark. The green glow died. The Krell ship listed slightly. Its weapons stayed silent. The bridge was quiet. Sophia whispered, they did not expect that. John kept his eyes on the screen. Hail them again. Emma opened the channel. John spoke slowly. That was a warning. We can do it again. And next time we aim for your engines. Or your bridge. Power down. Now. For a long moment nothing happened. Then one by one, the green lights on the Krell ships faded. Weapons powered off. The Overlord's voice came back. It sounded different now. Not laughing. You dare use primitive slugs against us? John answered. We use what works. Simple, fast, cheap, effective. Now let our shuttles through. We bring help for the Vara, not death for you. Another pause. Very well, the Overlord said. Shuttles may land, but we watch. One wrong move, and we finish this. John cut the channel. Launch 8 shuttles, he ordered. Medical teams first. Food replicators next. Dr. Grant, you lead the ground team. Sophia nodded. On my way. As shuttles left the Endurance, John turned to William. Keep weapons hot. Scan everything. If they twitch, hit them again. Yes, sir. Down on the planet, the first shuttles touched ground in a ruined square. Dust rose around them. Vara survivors came out slowly from hiding places. Their fur was dirty, their eyes wide. Some carried wounded children. Sophia stepped out first. She wore a simple white suit with a red cross on the arm. She held up empty hands. "We are humans," she said through her translator. "We are here to help." A Vara elder walked forward. His name was Torin Vex. His fur was silver. One arm hung in a sling. You came," he said. His voice shook. "The Concord did nothing. The others watched, but you came." Sophia knelt to look at a small Vara child with burns on her face. She opened a medkit. "We could not stay away." Torin looked up at the sky. "Your ship, it stopped the Krell, with one shot." Sophia smiled softly. "We try not to kill unless we must, but we protect those who cannot protect themselves." More Vara came. They brought the wounded. Humans worked without rest. They set up tents. They handed out water packs. They used small machines to clean wounds and grow new skin. Above, the Krell watched. Their sensors recorded everything. They saw humans carry stretchers. They saw humans share food with strangers. They saw no demands, no flags planted, no tribute asked. In the Krell flagship, Overlord Kazaf stared at the feeds. His mandibles moved slowly. "These humans," he said to his officers, "they fight like machines, but they heal like something else." One officer clicked. "They are weak, one ship, yet they make us stop." Kazaf turned. "Send word to the hive worlds. Tell them, the hairless ones have teeth, and they use them for others." Across the galaxy, the message moved. Relay stations lit up. Alien traders stopped in bars and whispered. Diplomats on the Concord station received urgent pings. One Zorath delegate looked at the screen. Humans intervened, with force and mercy. A Myran advisor added, "They disabled a battlecruiser without destroying it. Precise, controlled." The room filled with quiet talk. In a dark corner of the Concord Hall, a small group of observers gathered. They were not ambassadors. They were watchers from many species. They had seen wars before. One said, "The alert level, we must raise it." Another nodded. "Maximum alert, for the first time in 300 cycles." "Why?" someone asked. "Because a new player entered the game, and they do not play by old rules." On Earth, Admiral Robert Klein watched the live feed from Luna Base. He smiled thinly. "John," he said to the empty room, "you just woke up the galaxy." Back in the Aara system, the Endurance hung between the fleets. Shuttles moved back and forth. Vara survivors boarded slowly. Some would go to human ships for treatment. Others would stay to rebuild. John stood on the bridge. He looked at the planet. Emma turned. "Captain, incoming message from the Vara Elder, Torin Vex." "Put it through." Torin's face appeared. "Captain Hayes, my people owe you everything. Why did you come? Why risk so much?" John thought for a moment. "Because long ago, on our world, we learned a hard lesson. When evil acts and good people do nothing, evil wins. We promised ourselves we would never stand by again." Torin's eyes softened. "Then you are welcome here, always." John nodded. "We will stay until it is safe." The channel closed. Outside, the stars stayed quiet, but every sensor in the galaxy pointed at the small gray ship. And every mind wondered the same thing. What else could humans do? What would happen if more came? The galaxy raised its alert to maximum, not from fear alone, but from wonder and caution. The sky over Alara 9 stayed dark with smoke for 3 more days, But now, shuttles moved like busy bees between the Endurance and the ground. They carried boxes of food, clean water, blankets, and medicine. Human teams worked side by side with Vara survivors. They cleared rubble. They built simple shelters from metal sheets. They listened to stories of loss and gave quiet comfort. Lieutenant Ava Thompson led one of the ground teams. She was young, 28, with short red hair and steady hands. She wore a gray jumpsuit covered in dust. Ava carried a heavy medkit on her back. She knelt next to an old Vara woman whose leg was broken. The woman's name was Mira. Her fur was thin and white. "You will walk again," Ava said softly. She used the translator on her wrist. "We have machines that fix bones. It will not hurt much." Mira looked up with tired eyes. "Why do you help us? You do not know us. You gain nothing. On our world, we had times when no one helped. Many died. We decided that would never happen again. Not if we could stop it." Mira touched Ava's hand. "You are strange, strong, kind." Ava smiled. "We try." Above the planet, the Krell fleet stayed in place. Their ships no longer pointed weapons at the Endurance, but they watched. Sensors stayed active. Small scout drones flew close, then pulled back when human point defense guns tracked them. Captain John Hayes stood on the bridge. He drank black coffee from a metal cup. The view screen showed the relief effort below. Small green dots moved on the surface. Human aid teams. Commander William Carter walked up. "Captain, scans show Krell reinforcements coming. 3 hive carriers, 12 escorts. They will arrive in 12 hours. John set the cup down. "How many ships total when they get here?" "Close to 50. We have 1. John looked at the screen. "Then, we need more." He opened a secure channel to Luna Base. Admiral Robert Klein appeared almost right away. "John, report." "The Krell are not done. They called in heavy ships. We can hold for a while, but not forever." Robert nodded. "I expected this. The fleet is moving. Not the full Navy, just what we can spare fast. 3 carriers, 6 cruisers, support ships with factories. They jump in 6 hours. John raised an eyebrow. "Factories?" "Yes, mobile assembly lines. They print fighters, repair drones, anything we need. We learned that trick from old wars. Fight smart, not just hard." John smiled a little. "Good. We will buy time down here." "Be careful, John. The galaxy is watching every move." The channel closed. John turned to his crew. "Prepare for company. Shields to maximum. Launch extra sensor buoys. I want to see them coming." Hours passed. Sophia Grant, coordinated from a field hospital. She spoke to Vara leaders. They asked hard questions. One leader, a tall male named Kale, said, "Your people risk death for us. Why?" Sophia looked at the wounded around her. "Because we know pain. We know what happens when power goes unchecked. We choose to be the check." Kale lowered his head. "Then we stand with you." As night fell on Aara 9, the first Krell reinforcements dropped out of hyperspace. 50 black shapes filled the outer system. They formed a wall of ships. The lead carrier was huge. Its hull looked like layered armor plates. Lights pulsed along its sides. Overlord Kazat's voice came over open channels again. This time, it carried anger. "Humans, you had your chance. You insulted us with 1 weak shot. Now you will learn respect. Leave this system, or we erase you and the Vara together." John answered from the bridge. His voice stayed even. "Overlord, we are not leaving. The civilians stay safe. If you attack, we defend them. And ourselves. Choose wisely." Kazoth clicked loudly. "You have no fleet. 1 ship against many. You die today." The Krell moved forward. Slow at first, then faster. On the Endurance, alarms sounded. Red lights flashed. William Carter said, "They are charging weapons. Full spread." John stood tall. "Hold position. Protect the evacuation lanes. No one fires until they cross the line." Then new contacts appeared on the scopes, blue dots, human ships. The carriers arrived first. USS Vanguard, USS Liberty, USS Resolve, each one bigger than the Endurance. They carried bays full of small fighters. Behind them came cruisers, sleek and gray. Admiral Charles Bennett's face appeared on the main screen. He was older, with gray hair and a calm smile. Captain Hayes, sorry we are late. Traffic in hyperspace. Right on time, Admiral. Charles looked at the Krell fleet. Looks like they brought friends. Yes, sir, 50 ships. Charles nodded. We have 30. But we brought factories. Let them come. The human carriers opened their bays. Small drones poured out. Not fighters yet. Factory drones. They spread out like a cloud. Each one started building. Metal arms moved fast. They printed frames, engines, weapons. In minutes, the first new fighters took shape. The Krell hesitated. Their sensors must have shown the sudden growth. Overlord Xa spoke again. Tricks, machines, you hide behind toys. John replied, these toys save lives, yours included, if you stop now. The Krell did not stop. They charged. Green beams lit the darkness. They hit human shields. The Vanguard took a hard strike. Its hull glowed red for a second, then held. Human fighters launched. They moved fast, agile. They danced between Krell ships. Lasers flashed. Missiles streaked. But the real change came from the factories. More drones, more fighters. The battlefield grew crowded with human machines. They targeted engines, weapons, not bridges, not reactors. Disable, do not destroy. One Krell destroyer lost power. It drifted. Human boarding teams in small pods moved in. They secured it, saved the crew, gave them air. The Krell mind links started to crack. Confusion spread through their hive. Orders came slow. Some ships pulled back. On the ground, Ava Thompson watched the sky light up with flashes. She stood next to Torin Vex. Your people fight like nothing we have seen, Torin said. Ava nodded. We adapt, we learn, and we do not give up. A shuttle landed nearby. More supplies, more hands to help. Sophia Grant walked over. Her suit was dirty. She looked tired, but strong. The Krell are breaking, she said. They did not expect this. Will they surrender? Sophia smiled. If they are smart, yes. In space, the battle turned. Human ships formed a protective ring around the planet. Krell ships hit the wall and bounced back. Losses grew on their side. Not many destroyed, many disabled. Floating hulks. Overlord Kazoth watched his fleet falter. His mandibles trembled. One officer said, Overlord, the humans multiply. Their machines build faster than we can kill. Kazoth stared at the view screen. He saw a human fighter save a damaged Krell escape pod. The fighter pushed it to safety. He closed his eyes for a moment. Then he opened a channel. Human Admiral, Captain, we request parley. Admiral Charles Bennett answered. We accept. Send a shuttle, unarmed. We will meet in neutral space. The channel closed. On the Endurance bridge, John let out a long breath. Emma Larson smiled. They blinked first. Lights now glowed in the camps. Vara and humans working together. Not blinked, he said, learned. The galaxy watched every second of it. Relay feeds carried the images far. Species after species saw one thing. Humans did not conquer. They protected. And when they did, nothing stayed the same. The alert level stayed at maximum, not because of danger now, but because the galaxy finally understood. Humans were here. The Parley shuttle from the Krell flagship moved slow and careful. It was small and black. No weapons showing. It docked with the USS Vanguard in open space between the two fleets. Admiral Charles Bennett waited in a plain meeting room. The walls were gray steel. A long table sat in the middle, with chairs on both sides. No flags, no guards with guns, just 2 human marines at the door, hands empty. Overlord Ksath stepped through the airlock. He was taller than most humans. His shell shone under the lights. 4 officers followed him. They clicked their feet on the floor. Their eyes moved fast, scanning everything. Charles stood up. He was calm. Overlord Ksath, welcome. Please sit. Ksath stayed standing for a moment. Then he lowered himself into a chair. It creaked under his weight. We come to talk, not to beg. Charles nodded. We come to listen, and to end this without more death. The talk started slow. His voice clicked through the translator. You humiliated us. 1 ship stopped our attack. Then your machines grew like weeds. You fight strange, not for land, not for power, for strangers. Charles leaned back. We fight for what is right. The Vara did not attack you. You bombed their homes. We could not watch that. Ksath's mandibles moved. The planet was ours by right. Old claims. Old claims do not justify killing millions, Charles said. We have old claims too, on Earth. We learned they mean nothing if they bring pain. The room stayed quiet. 1 Krell officer shifted. Another looked at the floor. Ksath spoke again. What do you want? Charles answered clear. Full withdrawal from Aara 9. No more attacks on Vara worlds. Help rebuild what you broke. In return, we stop fighting. No revenge, no occupation. Ksath clicked loud. You ask us to bow. No, Charles said. We ask you to choose peace. You can walk away strong. Or keep fighting and lose more. Ksath stared at the table. Minutes passed. Then he stood. We will take your terms to the Hive Council. Give us 1 cycle. 1 day. Charles nodded. 1 day, no attacks during that time. Our ships stay ready. The Krell left. The shuttle pulled away. On the Vanguard Bridge, Charles turned to his officers. They are thinking. That is good. Back on the Endurance, Captain John Hayes watched the feeds. The planet below looked better. Lights glowed in new shelters. Vara children played near human tents. Smoke was thinner now. Lieutenant Emma Larson said, Captain, Krell ships are holding position. No movement. John nodded. Keep watching. This is not over. Night came again on Aara 9. The sky lit up sudden. Green flashes. The Krell broke the truce. Not all of them. Only part of the fleet. A group of 20 ships broke formation. They charged straight at the human carriers. Weapons hot. Beams cutting space. Alarms screamed on every human ship. Admiral Charles Bennett's voice came over fleet comms. All ships. Defensive sphere around the planet. Protect the evacuation. Do not chase. Hold the line. The battle started fast and hard. Krell ships fired first. Green plasma hit the Liberty's shields. Sparks flew. The ship shook, but stayed strong. Human fighters launched in waves. They moved like birds. Fast turns, quick strikes. They hit Krell engines. Thrusters died. Ships slowed. The factories kept working. New drones built more fighters. The cloud of machines grew bigger. They swarmed the attackers. Small explosions popped like fireworks. Not big blasts, just enough to disable. 1 Krell dreadnought pushed forward. It was huge, spikes everywhere. It aimed its main gun at a line of evacuation shuttles leaving the planet. John Hayes saw it on his screen. Endurance, intercept that dreadnought, now. The Endurance moved. Engines roared. It flew straight at the big ship. Shields flared as beams hit. William Carter called out, collision course, impact in 40 seconds. John gripped his chair. Full speed, ram the weapon mount, save those shuttles. The crew braced. The Endurance grew larger on the dreadnought's view screen. At the last second, The dreadnought tried to turn. Too late. The two ships hit. Metal screamed. The Endurance's bow punched into the dreadnought's gun turret. Sparks flew. The big gun crumpled. It went dark. The dreadnought spun slow. Air vented from holes, but the evacuation shuttles passed safe. On the Endurance, red lights flashed. Hull breaches. Damage control teams ran. They sealed doors. They fought fires. John stayed on the bridge. Status? Emma answered, "We lost forward shields. Engines at 60%. Crew injuries. No deaths." John exhaled. "Good work. Let the fighters finish." The Krell morale broke then. The hive mind felt the pain. Links cracked. Orders mixed. Some ships turned to run. Others stopped firing. One by one, the attacking ships powered down weapons. They drifted, silent. Overlord Kazat's voice came over open channels. It sounded tired. "Humans, enough. We yield. Full withdrawal. We accept your terms." Charles Bennett answered, "Understood. Stand down all weapons. Our teams will escort your ships out of the system. No tricks." The Krell agreed. The battle ended. Human ships moved careful. They helped damaged Krell vessels. They gave air. They towed broken hulls to safe distance. No prisoners. No chains. Just mercy. On the ground, Ava Thompson watched the sky go quiet. Flashes stopped. Stars came back clear. Torin Vex stood next to her. "It is over?" Ava nodded. "Yes, they surrendered." Torin looked at her. "Your captain, he rammed a dreadnought." "For our shuttles." Ava smiled. "That is what we do." Sophia Grant walked up. She carried a tired child in her arms. The child slept safe. "The galaxy saw everything," Sophia said. "Every move, every choice." Above, the Concorde station buzzed. Ambassadors stared at screens. They saw humans save enemies. They saw humans risk their ship for strangers. They saw a fleet yield to fewer numbers. One delegate said, "They did not conquer. They defended." Another added, "And they won." Word spread fast. Trade hubs, relay stations, every species talked. The humans intervened, and the galaxy shook. On the Endurance Bridge, John Hayes sat in his chair. His ship hurt, but it lived. The crew cheered soft. Emma turned. "Captain, message from Admiral Bennett. He says well done." John looked at the planet. Lights bright now. Life coming back. "Tell him the same," John said, "and tell the crew. Rest now. We earned it." The stars stayed quiet again. But every eye in the galaxy stayed on the small human ships. They had seen what humans could do when pushed, when they chose to step in. The turning point was over, and nothing would be the same. The Krell ships left the Aara system one by one. They moved slow, like wounded animals. Human cruisers followed at a safe distance, not to chase, to make sure no last attack came. The dreadnought that the Endurance rammed was towed by human repair tugs. Its crew was safe. They breathed human air until their own ships could take them home. On Alara 9, the rebuilding started in earnest. Human drones cleared more rubble. They printed new walls and roofs from local dirt and metal. Vara workers learned to use the machines. Laughter mixed with the hum of tools. Children ran between tents. For the first time in weeks, hope felt real. Captain John Hayes walked the surface for the first time. He wore a simple gray coat. Dust stuck to his boots. He stopped at a small square where a statue once stood. Now it was gone. In its place, Vara and humans planted young trees. The trees came from human seed banks. They would grow tall and give shade. The elder's fur looked cleaner now. His arm sling was gone. "Captain Hayes," Torin said, "you walk among us like one of our own." John smiled. "I am just a man, doing what needs doing." Torin looked at the trees. These will outlive us all, a gift from strangers who became friends. John nodded. We plant them everywhere we go, a reminder, life comes back. Above, the human fleet stayed, not to rule, to guard. Admiral Charles Bennett met with Vara leaders on the Vanguard. They signed no big treaty, just a simple agreement. Humans would train Vara guards, share tools, leave when asked. Dr. Sophia Grant spoke at one meeting. Her voice was clear. We do not want your land, we do not want your resources, we want peace here and everywhere. The Vara leaders listened. One said, you could have taken everything, you chose not to. Sophia answered, that is why we are here. To show another way. Word of the battle and the mercy spread far. Relay stations carried images and voices. Alien news feeds played them over and over. A human ship ramming a dreadnought to save shuttles. Humans helping Krell crews. Humans planting trees instead of flags. On the Galactic Concord station, the round hall filled again. Ambassadors sat quiet. No whispers this time. The Zorath delegate with glowing eyes stood first. The humans have shown us something new, he said. Strength without conquest, mercy without weakness. The Myran ambassador added, they are young, yet they act with old wisdom. The Krell ambassador was there too. His shell looked duller. He spoke low. We misjudge them. The Hive Council accepts the terms. No more claims on Alara 9. We will send aid for rebuilding. As equals. A soft sound went around the room. Not applause, just surprise. Then the Vara ambassador, Lyra Voss, stood. We ask the Concord to accept the humans as full members. They earned it with blood and kindness. Hands, claws, wings, and fins rose. One by one. The vote was yes. No one said no. The Concord doors opened wider for humans. Admiral Robert Klein and Dr. Sophia Grant arrived at the station days later. They wore plain uniforms. No medals, no show. The hall greeted them with quiet respect. Eyes followed them to their seats. Robert spoke first. His voice was steady. We come as friends, not rulers. We will share what we know. We will learn from you, and we will stand against those who hurt the weak. The room stayed silent. Then soft clicks and hums of agreement filled the air. Outside the station, news drones caught the moment. The images went everywhere. Humans at the Concord table. Not begging. Invited. Back in the Alara system, the last Krell ship jumped away. The human carriers started to pull back too. Some stayed to finish training. Others carried Vara, who wanted to see Earth. Lieutenant Ava Thompson said goodbye to Mira. The old Vara woman held her hand tight. Come back, Mira said, when the trees are tall. Ava smiled. I will, promise. On the Endurance Bridge, John Hayes watched the planet grow small on the view screen. Repairs were done. The ship looked new again. Almost. Emma Larson turned. Captain, Fleet Command says we head home. Rotation. John nodded. Set course for Sol. Maximum speed. The jump drive hummed. Stars stretched. John looked at his crew. They were tired, but proud. You all did good, he said. Real good. William Carter grinned. We just did what you taught us, sir. Step in, finish it, go home. John laughed soft. Yeah, something like that. The Endurance jumped. The system fell quiet. Months passed. The galaxy changed slow. Maximum alert status stayed for a while. Not from fear of humans attacking, from fear of missing something. Ships watched trade lanes closer. Diplomats talked more. Wars slowed. Not because humans threatened, but because everyone knew if things got bad, humans might step in. Stories grew. In bars on distant worlds, aliens told tales. The one-ship stand, the ramming of the dreadnought, the trees on Alara 9. They called it the human intervention. Some laughed, Some nodded serious. On Earth, John Hayes walked a quiet beach. Waves rolled in. He wore civilian clothes, no uniform. Kids played nearby. He sat on a rock and watched the water. His comm beeped. A message from Sophia Grant. John, the Concord wants you for an advisor post. You interested? He smiled at the screen. Typed back. Not yet. Need some quiet first. But tell them I will visit. He put the comm away. The sun set slow, orange and gold on the sea. Far above, satellites watched. Humans lived normal lives. Laughed. Worked. Loved. But the galaxy knew. When humans intervened, everything changed. Not with fire and conquest. With resolve. With mercy. With the simple choice to act. And because of that, the stars felt a little safer. The blue planet turned on. Quiet. Strong. Ready.